If Democrats win the 2026 midterms, it won't be because voters feel good about the economy. It'll be because voters feel frustrated and know who to blame. Because right now, the biggest issue in this election is clear: the cost of living, gas, groceries, rent. And if those prices keep rising, that doesn't hurt Democrats, it helps them because they're not in power. Republicans are, which means every price increase raises a simple question for voters. If Republicans are in charge, why isn't this getting better? So Democrats don't need to change the subject, they need to reinforce it. And you'll see that show up in how they campaign. First, messaging. They will connect rising prices directly to decisions made in Washington, energy policy, economic priorities, foreign policy choices like the war in Iran. Democrats will argue it's driving costs higher and being mismanaged, and they'll tie that back to leadership or lack of leadership, not abstract forces, decisions. Second, tactics. They will nationalize the election around accountability. Every local race becomes part of a bigger argument. This is what Republican leadership produces: higher costs, more pressure, less control. They'll use contrast aggressively, not just "we're different," but "this is the result of who's in charge right now." And expect them to lean heavily into digital and targeted messaging, especially toward voters feeling the most economic pressure. Third, coalition building. This is where they can actually win. They'll focus on working class voters feeling squeezed by rising costs, suburban voters frustrated with instability and prices, younger voters who are already economically strained, and they'll try to reconnect these groups around one idea: the system isn't working and the people currently running it aren't fixing it. Then they layer in everything else. Immigration raids become about mismanaged priorities. Foreign policy becomes about decisions that have consequences at home. The Epstein files, that becomes about a system that protects insiders, even when one party controls it. All of it points back to the same argument: if you're in charge, you're responsible. So watch for this. Anytime Democrats talk about any issue, they'll bring it back to cost of living and accountability. Because their path to victory depends on one thing: making this election a referendum on performance. Not risk, not theory, performance. If they can do that, they have the advantage. If they lose that frame, they lose the election. And remember, politics is fluid. Things will change. If you want to understand the other side of this, watch how Republicans are trying to win this election.